What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Dead State. In the previous episode, we had brought in this guy over here, Todd, who is apparently a preacher who was being evicted from the last place that he gave ministry. I feel like something bad's about to happen. I've been thinking about it. I went on my run in between this episode and the last run. I'm sorry, I went on my jog in between this episode and the last episode recording, and I was just thinking about Todd the entire time, not in like a weird way, but in such a way as it's kind of convenient from a plot angle that Joel needs counseling right about the time this guy shows up. I feel like I may have made a mistake, but the girl, I didn't want her to suffer for her company that she kept, basically. I think she'll be useful. We need to keep a big eye on Todd, because he was being kicked out of his last city for something, and I get the distinct feeling we're going to find out what that was very, very soon. Without further ado, let's get our game going right now. Todd has no job. Todd really doesn't seem to be that useful. What can he do as a machinist? Science skill. A lot of this takes science skill in order to create armor, which is a little bit unfortunate. I sort of wish we can make chainmail armor. Damn, we can make all kinds of cool stuff up in here. I'll probably... Ooh, a long barrel magnum. Wow. That thing looks legit. Doesn't it look awesome? I think it looks awesome. I think this makes... See, for some of these, it says that it makes a... Yeah, see, so for some of these, it says that it does it so that lower level skill characters can make that weapon now once you craft the blueprint. That's not bad, actually. I think that that's probably something we'll aim for in a little bit. We don't really have any of these epic weapons, though, at the end of the game. There's like an MS4 right there. Yeah, we definitely got a couple of really, really cool guns. We got an MP5 in here. You can make a silencer for the 9mm. Some legit stuff up in here. I suppose that I'll put him on... Oh, I don't know. I suppose that I'll put him on hospitality duty. I don't trust him worth shit, but we'll do what we have to do in order to keep things up and running and functioning. We only have a couple hours left on the watchtower, 12 hours to be exact, and so I may have to throw somebody else on there just to make sure that it gets finished, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Everybody else is inside the party. I think we're all appropriately equipped right now to get up and running within 9 hours, so that means by 5 o'clock by closing time tonight. Closing time! One last call for watchtowers, so make sure you get your work done or I'll be really, really upset with you. I had to extend the end of that verse right there because I felt like I needed to make it clear how frustrated I was going to be if they didn't get things done. I also like that it auto-saves a lot more right now. I think this game caught a patch in between the last time I recorded it because it's doing a lot more like functionality things right now that are super, super awesome. I think what we should probably do is head along the 190 maybe. We went to Serpent Street already. We haven't been to the Bargain Owl. We already hit the old general store, so that should be finished. I feel like hitting the Bargain Owl, then cutting east to the 183 and coming all the way back down and around. I don't know. I just don't know right now. I'm going to head south. Let's go south and we'll see what we find along the 87. And if we find anything that's useful down here. Okay, so there's a truck stop. We'll get that on the way back if we don't find anything. There's Pleasant Street Library. Okay. Sounds like a nice enough place. A knife enough place. We found a cutlery store. It's a knife enough place. Oh my god, my brain hurts me sometimes. Like, seriously. I think about these things before I say them and they still come out. I try to stop it from happening, but it's just like a bulldozer coming through my teeth. My cat, oh my god, my cat is, I don't know if there's any veterinarians in my audience, but I found one of the greatest things about having, like, the fan base that I do. Speaking of which, I'm very, very thankful for all of you. It's the holiday season, and I think that I appropriately need to express how much I appreciate all of you being patrons here at the Nerdcastle. But anyways, back to the point that I was going to say before, my cat is very, very sick right now. So if there's any veterinarians out in the group, I'm not really sure. She doesn't seem sick. She's, like, grooming and stuff like that. But, like, she's had, like... the kitty shits for like days. She's had like diarrhea and she doesn't drink much water, but she still grooms. She doesn't eat though, like ever. Like she'll eat like a mouthful of food a day. It's very, very weird. I feel like I should probably take her to the kitty doctor, but I think the problem with doctors and vets is that they don't like work the Christmas season, I think. I mean, everything's been closed. I should probably take her, but if there are any among you who have had similar problems, maybe a little bit of advice would be appreciated. By the time you guys see this video, it will probably be way past the time when I take her to the kitty doctor, but still, I figured I'd run it by the Nerdcastle because I'm always very, very surprised how many, like, expert people there are that are part of my like, I don't even know what to call it. My little community. There we go. That's what I'll call it. Part of the little community. I've had dentists, like, you remember back in the day when I had, like, jaw pain, I had a dentist email me and be like, yeah, you're probably fine. Does your jaw click or anything when you talk? Like, it's weird because I bring you guys into my real life, and I know some people hate that. Like, I've talked to a number of people who do LPs and stuff like that, and some of them are like, oh, no, strictly professional. You never talk about anything but the game, the game, the game. And that's fine if that's the style that works for them. But for me personally, I feel like I like bringing you guys into my life and like talking about things that have happened to me and talking about things that I hope will happen and talking about things that maybe might help you out or, you know, just bringing you in on how my daily day was because, frankly, humorous things happen and I observe them, so I figure I should pass them on to somebody. And you happen to be the lucky recipients. Hooray for you. I can hear the cacophony of clapping and cheering off in the distance, although it does sound decidedly cricket-like. Let's go ahead and throw some newspapers in there. I think there's another zombie back in here, maybe? Yeah, I've been to this location before. I remember this. I didn't remember where it was, but I remember this location. I think we're about to get some new party members, actually, if I remember correctly from my other playthrough. Let's go ahead and we'll go to the looted shelf. It's weird. I went in a different direction, then I just kind of quit playing. So I went sort of southwards, and I've seen some of this stuff, but I haven't seen any of the things up north that we've done in this playthrough so far, which is why I've actually been focusing on other areas, because I wanted to give it a few weeks for me to, like, forget the things that I had done in other places. Free TP, hell yeah. This place can actually be looted fairly quickly without... Did I forget to loot these? Hold on. Did I loot all the corpses? Oh, I didn't, and this one had antibiotics. Oh my god. Okay, so that was almost a major malfunction on my... Jesus. Okay. So, alright, now that I have invoked the name of a deity, I feel like we should probably... I need to loot my zombies, basically, is the point that I'm getting at here. The Burger Bar Diner, I think there's a couple people in there. In fact, I think there's a bunch of people in there. As I recall, we get a few more party members here, which is going to affect... I'm a little bit worried about our food supply right now. It is going to affect our food supply, and it concerns me a little bit that it's going to affect our food supply. Still, at the same time, we need to get a car up and running. If I remember correctly, one of these trucks was bugged the last time I was here. It's probably fixed now, but when I played this last time, I couldn't loot one of these trucks, no matter where you went with it. Okay, it's working now. We've brought back 6 gallons of fuel. As long as we're bringing back the gallon that we used for today, and also that plant looks very, very suspicious. What is that, like lavender? It looks like it would be a lootable object, but it's not. That looks like an agave plant over here. Very, very useful survival plant, in fact. Aloe vera and agave, both very, very useful plants that the Native Americans used to use for all kinds of, like, amazing uses. Like, seriously, if you're out in the desert and you're surviving, if you can find yourself agave, or you can find yourself aloe vera, or really any of the desert plants that look like that one right there, most of them are actually palatable if you can disassemble them. So if you've got a tool with you to make it happen... We got a guy over here. Let me bring everybody back for backup, just in case my memory is failing me right now. I don't like going into these situations alone. I've got a bunch of bat-wielding psychos. We look like a biker gang right now. That's what I've noticed along the way, is we look distinctively like coyotes at this point. Somebody might open fire on us. If you're here for the special, I'm afraid we're fresh out. Also, the men's room is out of order. I'm not here to hurt you. That used to be sort of an unspoken rule. Smart ass. So what's next? Well, I've been looking for survivors to join me. Is that so? It sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? Basic human decency? Good enough. You got room for 3? Hey guys, come on out. It's alright. Is it really okay, Mark? I think so. Michiru. Okay. So, now you can see why I had to make sure you weren't about to gun us down for the pancake batter. Is this your family? No, but close enough. We're kind of a package deal. I'll do my part and they'll do theirs if that's what it takes. Alright. Well, you can all come. It's a kid and an older woman, but you know what? I'm not a heartless person. He leans and whispers to you. Here's the thing. The kid, he lost his whole family and the dead freak him out. The woman, she doesn't speak English. It was tough just to get him here to safety. So how do we want to do this? Well, I do this all the time. We'll get you back without any chunks missing. Well, we've survived this long. I'm not going to lose anybody now. In case you need to give orders, my name is Mark, but people here usually refer to me by my last name, Corbeau. This kid is Ryan. I'm not a kid. I'm 17. Yeah, the woman's name is Michiru. She doesn't speak English. Just tell me what to do and I'll try and get her to understand. Good to meet you. Let's get you all home. Alright, and so they'll go back to the base, and then we will get to work looting his bar, which looks like it has bourbon, whiskey, and some other goodies. The bourbon will be useful for making sure some of our friends stay happy. I am really worried about Todd. I don't know if you're all getting the same creepy feeling about Todd that I am, but seriously, I don't feel good about Todd. Why is the bathroom locked? He said the bathroom was out of order. I assume that's because they were all hiding back here, but there might be zombies in one of these. Hold on. Let's have a look. Well, nothing that tried to bite us, scratch us, or otherwise end our existence. I give that a reverberating 2 thumbs up. I almost said reverberificating. I just wanted to make up a word, but then I had to stop myself. Sometimes my wordsmithing gets out of order. I wouldn't call it, actually, it's not wordsmithing, I guess. It's just making up bullshit. Sometimes my skill at bullshittery falls on its face, and then I have to be like, well, that appears as though the wound is going to need a sizable application of some kind of like bandaging or softening agent. Make it look a little... Actually, I don't want a soft face. I want a face that's been hardened by the weather. Make me look like an outdoorsman, like Jedediah Strongsmith. I don't know if you guys know who Jedediah Small... I don't even know... Well, maybe you guys will. Jedediah Strongsmith, anyways, in American folklore, he was an outdoorsman back in like the... well... I don't know. When was the Alamo? In that period. I don't know the date for the Alamo. 1800s at some point. Probably in the the 1850s. Well, I don't know. I'm losing my bearing right now because I'm trying to play a game and talk at the same time. But anyways, I'm not going to meander over it too long. Back in the time period, which was shortly after Daniel Boone, there was a guy named Jedediah Strongsmith who was a trapper, and he was like a traveling preacher who killed a bear with a knife and got his ear and like half his face ripped off. Basically, he's like one of those mountain men type guys that exists in the folklore of like every country. He was a real guy. Like, it's not made up. He's a real individual, but there are like proof and everything for the things that he did. He had a guy with him when the bear attacked him. All that fun stuff. He was actually missing like a large chunk of his face and also an ear, such to the point that you'd be like, yeah, you look like you got bit by a bear in the face. Killed it with a buck knife, as I recall. It was like a brown bear or something like that. But anyways, Jedediah Strongsmith was a trapper and wilderness guy back in the, not middle 1800s, but kind of in between the 1850s and like 1812-y region. In there somewhere. Alright. Let's go ahead and, I don't know if he fought in the French and Indian War, actually. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. That's going to bother me now. It's been a long time since 4th grade, which is when I learned about him. You might have guessed it's been a while since the 4th grade, so you'll forgive me if my memory is not so good. But yeah, he's kind of one of those guys that they tell kids stories about, and the kids run around with like little raccoon skin caps and stuff pretending to be him. Not as many do Davy Crockett or Daniel Boone, but at the same time, kind of one of those Paul Bunyan-esque stories that everybody tells around here. Or at least that some people... I don't know. That might be one that's more limited to Christian communities, because the big thing, I mean, when they were teaching about me, it was kind of like in my history and or Bible class, which sort of seemed to run together back in the day. But yeah, I think they focused on the fact that he like walked around like ministering to people and stuff, but he also, I liked the parts where he like fought bears and like got in wars and stuff. I mean, that was, any little kid, you've got like a meandering badass wandering around. Little kids tend to fixate on the violent parts. Little boys do anyways. It's just, I don't know what that is. Like, you give a little boy like a stick and he'll turn it into a gun somehow. It's almost like it's ingrained or something. I'm not really sure if it's a cultural thing or what, but frankly, that's what my parents said. My parents said that when I was a kid, they had friends that were like, oh, you let your kids play with toy guns? And they were like, yeah, if we don't do that, he's just going to pick up a stick and turn that into a gun. I mean, he's going to imagine it's a gun anyway, so, might as well make sure he doesn't fall on it and impale himself, because, you know, he falls down a lot. Let's go to, I don't know where we should go from here. I fell down a lot when I was a kid. I had problems. I had gravitational issues. I don't know if this is going to be... Yeah, we'll try and loot this place. I don't know if we're going to have time to get back home, but we'll give it a shot. We will give it a go. A survivalist scout. He's got a flare. She's got a flare. I think she might be trouble. And I don't know what we're up against here. Hold on. Let's figure this out, because the survivalists that I fought before had like really, really big guns, and they were able to bring the DACA in copious quantities towards my collective cranium. There we go. I knew there was another C word in there somewhere. Well, we can go for the takedown. I don't know if it's going to work like that, though. I would say to get the guns ready just in case. Are all the guns reloaded? If we get into a shootout right here, I'd prefer for it to be over very, very quickly. My guess is that the flare is going to alert other survivalists to our presence. So let's get up in here very, very slowly. And then we'll take a swipe. Ah. Okay, go for the flurry then. 45%. Ooh, it's risky. Ah. Alright, well, I figured it was worth the risk because we need to incap her in one turn. Oh, she didn't use the flare, strangely enough. Ow, she's got a riot baton, though. Ooh, and a lot of AP to use it. Yeah, forget this girl. You're done, champ. You're done. You know somebody else is going to come investigating, though. Help me. You just attacked... Well, I tried to stab you with a machete first, so I suppose... Yeah, I think there's more people here. They may not necessarily know where we are, but they're probably in the building would be my best estimation. Knowing, level design being what it is. And the last survivalist group we fought had like hunting rifles and like M16s and stuff, so I'm a little bit nervous about this engagement. Take her out real fast so that we don't have to worry about her later. Ooh, she's got a gas mask, give you some chemical resist and makes you look cool. Ebola, a telescoping baton that's worth... Ooh, that does a bunch of damage. A flare gun, which can be fired at people for fire damage. Okay. I've never fired a flare gun before. I've always wanted to, but I never got to. I think this is all going to have to be looted by somebody else, though, although I might give him the riot baton just to see what we get out of it. I'll probably get rid of that. We don't need it. Probably get rid of... I'm going to see how good the riot baton is, but if it's better than the bat, we may just keep that. So... If the baton is better than the bat, we will brusquely bear it into our bag. There we go. I knew I could find more B words. I just had to think about it a little harder. So it does 25 to 30 bludgeoning, whereas that does 18 to... Yeah, it's better than a baseball bat. Wow. Oh, each weapon has its effect listed now, too. So bleed and counter. That gives you a pretty good chance to counter. I may give that to him for right now. 25 to 30. That's a tighter grouping than... Yeah, that's a way tighter grouping than the machete, and it's got a lower AP. Wow, that weapon is legit. Okay, so that means that I can feasibly hand this over to our medic so that she can actually use 4 AP. It won't be as good on her, I don't think. Did I reload everybody? I want to make sure everybody got bullets before we go up in here. Alright, let's find out. The door's locked. I don't see any other hangarounds. Let's... Survivalist scout right there with some kind of improvised weapon, like a table leg or something. He put his table leg away so that he could more efficiently murder me with a separate implement. Let's not take a chance. We've got so much 38 ammo that I don't really care if I have to unleash a couple shots on somebody. On this side we got her. I'm going to have her take a flanking position right here. There's a stab for 15. There's a stab for 15. Luckily we got the double roll in a row. Should I put him down? I wish your whole team moved at the same time. To be honest, so I could swap in between them because there's an order that I'd like to do things, but unfortunately... let's risk it. Oh, he doesn't have enough action points? Damn, where are his friends at? Because there's a lot of people on this list right here. This could get out of control real quick. Alright. Well, riot baton it is. Wow, that thing is amazing. 2 AP for that many strikes. It's so good. It's got so many amazing uses. I almost bought a riot baton the other day, but yeah, you get in big trouble. You get caught with a riot. But if you're not a cop and you get caught with a riot with an extending baton in your car trunk or something, you can be in big trouble. You're definitely going away in handcuffs. That or they'll just confiscate it up front. But it depends what kind of mood the officer's in that day. If he's had a particularly rough day, I wouldn't run it past him to take you down to the precinct for the night. You probably won't get like jail time or anything for it. You probably get a fine or something would be my guess. It depends what state you're in too. Some states are a lot more lenient on like self-defense weapons and things than others. Here in California, a lot of people don't know this, but we tend to have really, really strict laws, and it's not because they're modern laws. The laws that are enacted right now are actually because everything revolved around San Francisco back in the day, and they had huge problems with gangs of sailors killing each other in San Francisco, and so the state created a whole bunch of laws way back in the day that basically make like every weapon illegal so that they could just like arrest sailors whenever they wanted to without... You know, as long as the sailor had a weapon, you could arrest him, and that's what they were going for, but those laws were never removed now that we live in the modern age where there's not roaming gangs of sailors running around the port beating each other to death anymore, so sometimes I wonder. Then again, what do I need a telescoping baton for anyways? It's just kind of a cool thing to have. I don't know. It makes a cool snicked sound when you take it out. Like Wolverine! Snicked! Snicket! Let's kick this door open, even though it's going to make a racket. I don't pick locks, by the way. You may have noticed that. Lock picking is for the people too feeble to kick this bastard down. So we got a library here. Hopefully we don't have a whole lot of Zeds in here. If indeed we do, this is very, very tight quarters. And so why you would keep your coins that tightly together, I'm not sure. They tend to run off, I guess, but you know what I mean. I don't feel like fighting in here. The public toilet, it's the library toilet, where all of the homeless people go to drop BMs. It's totally true. Used to happen at the library in my town. You see a homeless guy coming in, drop a dookie, and just like burn up the entire library. Like, damn, what have you been eating? Homeless guy's been eating nothing but fast food, I can tell. I can tell. That's what happens to me when I eat nothing but Taco Bell. Ain't nobody want me to be around. Ooh. An English to Japanese dictionary. Considering we just got Michiru, that might be useful to make her life a little bit easier. Ooh, okay. So maybe we can actually, either we can help her learn English, or at the bare minimum, we might be able to translate, assuming that it's a phonetic dictionary. So this should be fine, I hope. Either way, it's a very, very useful item considering what we've been looking for and the people who have joined our party recently. I should probably check the backyard just in case. I don't know who's going to be waiting for us back here, so take it very, very slow. Swing wide on the corner. Oh, there's an apple tree. Cool. There's another popular American folklore person, Johnny Appleseed. Although I think Johnny Appleseed's one of the ones that's unverified if he actually ever existed or if he was just like one of those Paul Bunyan characters that was invented by storytellers. It's difficult to tell sometimes with one of them because where the tall tales mix in with the history, there may have indeed been a guy like Robin Hood, for example, in, you know, English or UK. Robin Hood was in England, right? Yeah, Nottingham and all that. He was in England. Of course he was. Anyways, there may have been a Robin Hood. I heard from, I guess I read it somewhere, I suppose, that Robin Hood was invented by the British or by the English in order to counteract Rob Roy, I think it was, who was becoming a folk hero at the time, from what I recall. But there may have actually been a Robin Hood, but like I said, when it comes to I don't want all of these. Here, take these out. I know I clicked the wrong thing like I always do, but I really don't care about the lockpicks either. Oh, no. He's got a gun. It's a big gun. Let's go hide behind the van. I don't think that song's ever going to chart. I feel like the chord progression is a little simplistic. I also feel like from a theory standpoint that it's just not going to... I feel like I'm still going to get shot. Either way, hide behind the car. And wherever this dude goes... No! Ow! Okay. So, that was a noisy weapon that is now probably going to call down all hell upon us. I don't really have a plan right now, aside from don't be near the enemy and get shot with a shotgun. And it looks like there's a couple of... Oh, there's another one right there. Oh, Christ. We've got a problem. Oh, shit. Okay, so everybody fight on this side of the car. We gotta do what we gotta do. They don't have a lot of armor, which will work to our benefit. But on this side... How I would prefer to have this happen. Oof. Are you gonna give me like a free shot or something? Okay, it looked like I might get a free shot. Hooray for free shots! Maybe make him dazed so that he misses a little bit more. Oh, this is gonna hurt so much. Ow! Wow. Holy shit. Okay, this dude's gotta go now. Get down. Get the hell on out of here. Ooh, shit. Noise is getting a little out of hand. That's for sure. Okay, so let's have her... We're gonna pick him up real fast. And then we need her to bandage Bud to make sure that nothing else bad happens. Let's bandage Tweedletime. Tweedletime, I need you to get over to here, I guess. And maybe like, pose some kind of tangible threat to this guy. Oh, good. We got zombies coming in now, too. Just to make the problem more fun. And now we got arrows sticking into us. Alright. Well, these things considered, we got a pretty good chance to shoot this asshole right here. And now we're out of ammo. Ooh, reloading is so expensive in this game. It makes sense why it's so expensive, but damn is it expensive. Run, get behind the car, any cover you can get. Make that shot go further, basically. Oh man, the sound levels are so high right now. Okay, so get over here and help Vic. You get in there and scrap with this guy now. We should be able to get this survivalist in the next turn, but we got zombies to think about at this point. Look at our decibel level right now. This fight got out of control real quick, so we need to execute these bodies. That's the next thing. These bodies have to go. If these bodies continue to exist, they're going to become a long-term problem for us. I think we're going to get Zeds no matter what we do, to be honest. I'm going to reload you real fast. And then we'll get behind the car, I guess. Oh, that accuracy. It's going to take our away team a while to recover from this one. Let's get Bud healed up. Okay. We get Vic healed up. Can't heal Vic. Heal Vic from right there. And now we'll try and close with this guy right here. Oh. There we go. Kill that guy and let's get a little bit closer. On this side, all we can do is hope that this dude goes down or this lady goes down in this turn. There we go. She's down. Let's get our sound levels down as quickly as possible. Anything good? Another lever action. I knew that was she was bombing shots on us hard. Oh man. That got intense real quick. Way faster than I'd like to admit. Got zombies coming in. How many of them? I'm not sure. It looks like we've only got a couple. God. Alright, so our archer's been nicked. On this side, take a shot at this guy. That bow, though, we have to have that bow. That bow is going to be so useful for the future if we can get our hands on it. Nah, there's a miss with the knife, unfortunately. Let's get Bud up and in here. We'll let him take a swing. There's the hack right there. This guy over here, we don't have too much to worry about because of the zombies. I love our melee character. He's so good. Like, he gets around. I really, really like it. He invokes the inner power of the Beach Boys at all times. We already killed all the bodies over here, so we don't have to worry about respawns coming back and dealing with those in just a second. But we're in good shape right now. I thought we might... it's because I walked in and they got the first move. I messed it up. If they hadn't got the first move, we would have been alright. Ooh, missed. Okay. Ooh, missed two. Missed two at 85%. Not a huge chance of that happening, but it still happened. Ow! Oh, getting shot with an arrow seems so unpleasant. Because then if it's got like the... Oh, if it's got like the broad head on it, then you gotta pull it out. That would hurt so much. We appear to be having trouble making contact on this side. There's the knockout. Let's go ahead and finish the job right now so that the zombies don't mess with us. And I think that's going to be the combat. Everybody go over here. Get away real fast. We'll loot this in just a second. And I'm going to deal with this zombie unless we get stuck in combat. Let's go around the back of the building real fast. Oh, wow. We got a whole bunch of them coming in. Okay. That's alright. We can deal with it. It's not too big of a problem. It's free loot anyways. That one might see us when I come over here to smack this zombie. Or not. A little bit of damage right there. Scooch over by one and we might be able to get two in one turn. There we go. Make with the twofer. That's good. That sounds good. Next we'll set active right there. He'll run up. Maybe one shot that one. Yeah, I knew it was probably going to be too much to hope for, but it was worth it. I figured I'd give it a go. We'll set the hammers active. We'll pull that out. Very nicely done, Nerd Castle. Very nicely done. We managed to pull ourselves out of the back end of this one. Very, very nasty gunfight right there. That is going to cost us some long-term problems, though. A tactical arm guard used by police and military. These are made to protect the arms from weapons. Oh, so they're like the riot guards? Okay. Gotcha. Bud, I'm going to need you to grab some goodies here. Free arrow. Grab the parts only. I don't care about the knife. This survivalist over here. Got some boots and some other various sundries. The extra police shotgun's going to be a Bowie knife. Hell yeah. So the Bowie knife, I was just talking about the Alamo. I think Bowie died at the Alamo. Along with, anyways, the guy that invented the knife is Jim Bowie. And I'm pretty sure he died at the Alamo with Daniel Boone, as I recall. Although I think did they ever verify that Daniel Boone died there, if he got let go and just went somewhere? I think he died there. Honestly, I'm sure. I can guarantee you a Texan will pop in real quick. Everybody in Texas knows about the Alamo. That's part of your, like, state history. We have different classes than you in California. We learn about, like, San Francisco as, like, a port city, and then we learn about the missions and Father Sarah and all that stuff. You guys probably cover the Alamo way more than we do. We cover the Alamo here, but it obviously didn't happen in our state, so they bring it up, obviously, on the way by when you talk about the Mexican-American War. We'll bring that over there. We'll bring that over there. We got some goodies over here. And a lever action right there. Whew. Wow. My heart is going right now. That fight got ugly real fast. I don't suppose we checked the van. Nothing in it. Okay, so let's have our field medic. Let's get, okay, so Bud's looking fine. Let's get Vic going right here. So Vic has been bandaged. Let's get Tweedletime bandaged. That actually, we didn't call in as many zombies as I thought we would. I thought it was going to be a little bit worse. We need somebody to pick up that lever action because that's too useful of an item to leave behind. Is she carrying around a 2x4? Why does she have a 2x4? Throw that in there. We don't need a 2x4. Not useful in the slightest. A Scroogey might be helpful. I've seen screwdrivers as part of the mechanical parts that you need for some of the construction, so I'm always going to try and pick those up. Some bug spray over there, which is going to count as a morale booster. Let's do one big sweep around here because I'd like to finish this map before we go back. Got a lumber pile over here with 15 parts on it. My God. 18 parts. Well, hell. Construction equipment over here. Another part and another cement bag. We'll come back for that later because nobody else has anything they can pick up. We've got an extra part right there. Well, hell, we're all the way, like most of the way, to our next construct. What I like to do is I like to have the construction ready to go for the next day, personally, so that, like, once you, I'm sorry, for the next project, so every time you finish a project, you can chain right into the next one if you need to. Happy about the loot that we picked up right here. We're going to have to organize that in another episode, make sure we get it all where we want it to go. The bow is going to be an amazingly useful item from what I can tell. It uses piercing damage, which I think is the hardest resistance to get. Piercing is typically not an easy resistance to get in most games. Got arm guards right there, which are pretty fantastic for bite, bludgeoning, and piercing. I'll probably throw that on Tweedletime, maybe. So he's got himself, what does he have right now? That right there. It's like isn't bite and bludgeon, but it's not as good as the other. So yeah, I'll probably get that to Tweedletime, and then we'll start moving stuff around. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. It is my pleasure, as always, to be your host, and I feel immensely privileged every single day that I get to hang out with each of you and play some video games and just have a great time. Take care out there, everybody. Hi, do.